Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? This is Justin Martinez, aka Jay the Sports Dude, coming to you all live from my apartment. Hopefully, you all are staying at your homes as well, practicing social distancing and staying safe during this pandemic. And I'm here to provide y'all with a little bit of extra entertainment. That's right, folks. It is time for New Mexico State versus Cal Baptist. This is the conference opener from last season, and it's a part of our month-long journey to go back and watch as many games as we can from last season. And the reason why I say that, as many games as we can, is because we have had some copyright issues. Actually, our last two videos just got copyright claimed, but I think the reason for that is because they started off as the New Mexico game before we moved on to Arkansas Pine Bluff, and then because it started off as the Mississippi State game before we moved on to Northern New Mexico. So hopefully that's the last of the copyright claims. We're going to see how the WAC is in terms of claiming their videos, because from now on it is all WAC play. So we will see what happens, guys. But thank you to everybody who's been tuning in right now, whether you're watching this live or on playback. I appreciate it. And before we get started, you guys already know the drill by now. I have the YouTube channel here pulled up on my phone, and I'm just going to check it right now to make sure that I'm in frame, all that good stuff, and then change the title, of course, as well. Once that happens, we will get started with this one, folks. Because right now it still says versus Mississippi State as the title, which obviously is not correct. Let's just change that up to versus Cal Baptist. Great, there we go. There we go, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. Hopefully everybody's having a great day. My day's been pretty good, no complaints so far. As we got the Lancers winning the tip-off. This is about as tough as a matchup as New Mexico State could face to start conference play. So we see A.J. Harris with a quick rip. Lancers enter this game with the best three-point percentage, the best free throw percentage, and I'm pretty sure averaging the most points per game as well, out of all WAC opponents entering this one. So super high-powered offense, and this was a good one to watch here as we see Trev with the putback. Aggie's on the board first. Now, for those that are new, I do have it muted right now just because it's really hard to get a balance between my talking and the commentating. So I just found it's easier to put it on mute. Is we got, I believe, is that Milan Aqua? Let's see who that was. No, that's not. That is Fair and Flavors Jr., I believe. Hitting that early three ball. Yeah, so many offensive weapons for Cal Baptist. I'm going to pull up this box score here. As you see A.J. Harris just using that burst of speed to get into the lane. So at this point, Clayton Henry is no longer active. He did play that game against Northern New Mexico. However, he got injured during practice a couple days before this game. So that Northern New Mexico game was the one game that we got to see him play. We still got to see AJ for about half of this game before he got injured, as you guys know by now. Again, I'm just pulling up the box score right now so we can have that ready. So you got AJ once again penetrating, going high off the glass. Filthy. Filthy. Such a game changer. As opposed to like Sean Buchanan, where you just, you got to pick this guy up, but if he gets past you, either he's going to take it to the rack or he's going to kick it out for an open three. It just changes up the entire flow of the offense, honestly. So this is Milan right here with the pull-up J, no good. Jabari getting a contest on that one. Johnny wide open from three, no good. Yvonne with the board, and he'll kick it back out to who else? AJ. That was a bit of a heat check. Not mad at that one. That's a good look. Milan, as you guys know, went on to be the WAC Player of the Year. So he hits a tough step back shot along the baseline with Trev guarding him. Another guy who threw his hat in the ring for the NBA draft, so he declared about a month and a half ago. Just as pure of a scorer as you're going to find. Johnny battling down low. Good stuff there from the Cruces native. Yeah, this upcoming season, this Cal Baptist team is going to look a whole lot different. Milan no longer in the mix. Farron Flavors Jr. no longer in the mix. Who else is it? I'm going to say Zach Parag, I believe, was also a senior, if I'm correct. And I think Brandon Boyd is out of there too, so very tough. Makes you wonder which players would have actually stayed had they known that Cal Baptist actually would have been deemed eligible for this upcoming tournament, which they are now. But at the time of all these guys transferring and declaring for the pros and whatnot, they were still under the belief that they were going to have to wait an additional season. But yeah, that news came after all of the pieces started to move, but Cal Baptist is eligible for the WAC tournament. The WAC tournament only, though, still not eligible for the NCAA tournament. So if Cal Baptist were to win this upcoming WAC tournament, then it would go to the runner-up, the team that is eligible for the NCAA tournament that made it the farthest in the WAC tournament. So that's the way that it would work. So we see Jabari at the line here. Second attempt on the way, up 9-7 with 16-16 left. Got it to go. So now we see Evan checking in early, rocking number 0. So this is jersey number 2 for Evan. Started off with number 11. Good putback there. It's a good putback. That's DeJohn Davis, one of their better rebounders on the squad. Not the best at extending his range, though. His perimeter defense isn't the best. So I think one of the keys that I had for this was for the bigs, whether that be Johnny or whether that be CJ, to kind of bring him out there, force them to respect that three-point shot. As we see a shot by Evan rim out, tough handles there right by Milan. You want to talk about just having the ball on a string? Look at that. Puts it between or behind his back. We know how good Trev is at getting steals. He had, 7 or 8 in that last game against Northern New Mexico? Lancers with the ball down 1, inbounding it. And we got free throws coming up here. Aggie's rocking their, I guess these are, the black ones I guess would be considered their alternate, right? These are their normal road jerseys. I don't mind them. I think they're cool. I prefer the black ones, but I think these are cool also. I just like how it curves around the number. I think that's pretty cool. Probably my favorite is still their throwback one with that throwback logo they have. Where I think it says Aggies and then it says like NM State across like the 2 T's. No, wait. State and then it says New Mexico State, right? Something like that. I don't know. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Yeah, because it's the 2 T's connecting. All right, I'm over talking. Anyways, 11-10. As we got Will getting some early minutes here. Yeah, this is pretty much the same world that I'm expecting for a guy like Rashawn and G this upcoming season, is that Will really only got early minutes or consistent minutes depending on when the matchup fit. You know, being a redshirt freshman, Jans doesn't necessarily like to lean on his young guys, so I'm kind of expecting the same thing from Rashawn this upcoming season. A handful of minutes a game, 8 to 10 max. As we see Milan going off the glass. It's 3-level score. This guy can go down low, mid-range, 3-point shot. whatever, averaged close to 20 points a night in WAC play. Some people felt that Terrell Brown from Seattle probably should have gotten WAC Player of the Year. I personally would have gone with Milan. He didn't average as many points. He was the second leading scorer. I think Terrell actually averaged 20, if not 19. But when you consider that he's averaging more rebounds as well, he's shooting way more efficiently. That's another thing. I don't remember the stats exactly, but it was pretty lopsided. And then him being on the better squad, yeah, I have no problem with them giving it to Milan. He's got a travel call here. So that's Brandon Boyd, number 15. I remember the names, I just don't remember the jersey number on some of these guys. But okay, Milan 0, Brandon Boyd 15, Farron Flavors 31, and then Davis is the big man down low. I don't remember his number though. Aggie swinging it around, down by 1 point. So we got Yvonne going to work. Yeah, so many teams have to resort to giving this guy double coverage because he's too good, too patient down low. His footwork is too good for a lot of these other bigs. Very tough to discard one-on-one as we got a travel call there, or a carry, I guess, by Evan. You guys haven't already, make sure to check out my latest interview with Will McNair on Stray Shooter. I believe that was episode number 7. Still waiting to get the date secured with our next guest. But you guys can also check out our Aggie mailbag, which is on lcsunnews.com. I answered a couple of your guys' questions. Since that's going to be every Thursday, I'll probably ask for questions on like Tuesday, I think, is what I'll do. Probably ask for questions on Tuesday and then write the article up and also record the video because it is going to be video based as well. Moving forward, I'll do that on Wednesday. In addition to these nightly streams, so plenty of content for you guys, plenty of ways to reach me. Like I said, if you want to send in any questions, whether it be for the Stray Shooter episodes or whether it be for Aggie Mailbag, you guys can find me on Twitter at JTheSportsDude. On Facebook, it's our Facebook page, which is Las Cruces Sun News Sports, or you can email me at jmmartinez@gannett.com. Trev with the little sidestep 3, no good. So dangerous on the wing. If you give him in his 3-point stance on the wing, I feel like that's where he's most comfortable. Just that one didn't fall. Good contest there by Johnny. He's been saying that one of the things he really wants to work on is his footwork. As we see Vaughn extending his range. Okay. Yeah, Johnny's... We've had some talks, and he said that one of the things that he really wants to improve is just his perimeter defense. Like, as you can see right now, that would have been a very tough matchup had that play not gotten called off, him guarding Milan. But you know, he's showed some promise on the perimeter, and one of those blocks in the corners, that's one of them for sure. And I think that is going to be so important for Johnny moving forward, just because, you know, he isn't the biggest guy for a forward, especially if he were to, you know, have NBA aspirations or even going overseas. If you're not going to be the biggest, you got to be the most versatile, pretty much, the most mobile. So it's definitely something that he should be working on. AJ going to work down low. No good. crazy speed. I still would have loved to have seen AJ uh, and Evan do like a full court sprint, see who's the fastest. That would have been cool to see. I forget if it was after a game or just in a press conference, something like that, but somebody asked Jans that who he felt was faster, and he said he didn't know, he wasn't sure. I think it's a toss-up. I don't know who I would pick, honestly. I don't know. There's this one play that I showed Evan during his straight shooter interview, which is just him going like 0 to 60. It was crazy. Just from like a light jog at half court, all of a sudden he just turns on the jets, and he's down in the paint. A burst of speed, I think, is as good as AJ's, if not better. Well, let me know what y'all think. Let me know who you got in the race in a full court sprint, AJ or Evan. I'm interested in hearing that. You should comment that. So we got a charge call. Johnny drawing the contact. It's not really a way to. There's not really any place that keeps track of charges drawn, but I have to imagine that New Mexico State led the WAC this season in charges drawn. Look at that. Stepping in front of him. Not the quickest move there by Davis, so really easy for Johnny to just step in front. Cameron Montano, appreciate you for tuning in. As we see AJ with a tough take. He asked, any new news for recruiting for NMSU? No new news as of right now. New news. Yeah, there's nothing as of right now. New Mexico State did give a couple of offers to Deshaun Davis from, I believe, Trinity Valley Community College. And then let me find this other guy's name. Anderson Marambo, which I'm probably not pronouncing right. Yeah, he's out of high school right now. So, but that's it right now. Just offers being sent, and that's something that I really don't report on. As we see Johnny with the steal and the finish. Yeah, that's something that I normally don't offer on, just because New Mexico State, they're gonna throw their offer around to guys who have like 10, 12 other offers. It's if it gains traction, if they actually start to like narrow it down or something like that, and New Mexico State is still in the mix, then that's something that I'll report on. Like with Jaquan Scott, I've already started doing research on him. I included him in the Aggie mailbag because there's a legit chance that he might go there. Not that these other guys might not, but it's just there's so many other guys or so many other schools in the mix. So, yeah, once we start to get some more traction on some of those offers, then I guess it'll be bigger on my radar. But that's it as of right now. And these moves are for the following season anyways. Like with these two guys. So the Aggies right now already have their hands full in terms of scholarships and whatnot. And just roster space. Free throw here is up by Bull Cool. Probably not pronouncing that right. I'm really bad at pronouncing stuff. So I apologize. Jabari on the wing, driving, thriving. Tough bucket. Such a good finisher. Look at that, getting right back on defense and trapping. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why Jans had pointed out that he felt he was going to have a breakout season was You just want to talk about pure hustle. Jabari Rice is as good as it gets on the squad. Let's see, what was the call here? We got a 5 seconds. I got the replay down here on my phone because my live stream's a couple seconds beyond. Aggie's up 9 with a little bit under 10 minutes to go in the first half. One-on-one matchup. You know Yvonne's going at it. Yes, sir. You already know. If he backs you down and somebody doesn't come in to help, he's turning around and he's gonna hit that shot on you. And that's just that patience that I'm talking about. You see a nice crossover there by Boyd. Fast break triple from Terrell. Got it to fall. Got to rest the previous game against Northern New Mexico like we were talking about. Really big for him since he was still dealing with his strained groin. And I believe he had a pretty decent outing in this one as a result of it. Jabari Rice also coming off of a break. He didn't play that game against Northern New Mexico. 3 ball there by Boyd is no good. Aggie's already doubling up. (28-14) with 8:25 left in the first half. Aggie's in control on the road. This is a game that I did have New Mexico State winning, although I think it was one of the closer margins that I predicted. I'll have to look it up. That's an easy fast break one here. Oh, there's the foul on this one, right? Yeah, I remember that play. You can tell that's just Milan looking for contact too, slowing down, trying to get the foul call. Evan tried to pull away, but I don't know. Can we see a replay? I really didn't see him clip him too much. But he'll get the free throw here. And it is good. Something I didn't know about Milan until maybe like a week or so before this game, or a little bit more before this game, was that he went to Chino Hills. So apparently he's really good friends with Lonzo Ball and the whole Ball family. I don't know if that's just common knowledge. Maybe I'm just late to it, but yeah, apparently he's like best friends with them. Goes to family gatherings, family vacations, stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. See a 3 ball there, no good. Yeah, like when he announced or when he declared for the draft, I'm pretty sure Alonzo like retweeted it and stuff like that. Jello also. And I'm guessing that's why he chose Cal Baptist, because he came over from Washington. It wasn't Washington State. I'm pretty sure it was Washington. So he came over from there, and I guess he wanted to be close to home for a year before he declared for the draft. Coming out of the timeout here, Aggie's in control still. So we got Sean Williams now in the game. Let's see, am I in the frame? Yeah, I'm in the frame, okay. Yeah, maybe it's something I could figure out, but for some reason I just haven't been able to figure out getting myself on the screen, like on the laptop that I'm looking at, because right now I'm just watching the game. I can't see myself in the corner the way that y'all do. I think most streamers have dual screens mostly for that. So I don't even know if it's really possible to do that. As we see, just got to give him the Jordan shrug there. That's a heat check. And you're banking in the threes. It's, yeah, look at him. It's how you know it's that kind of night for AJ. Really a shame that he got injured in this one, because you could tell he was really starting to get back in the rhythm of things. It wasn't similar to Evan, where Evan was healthy, he just wasn't eligible, you know, so he was able to practice the whole way leading up to him making his first appearance. But AJ, obviously having the fractured finger, didn't get to practice with the team until like a week before he made his first appearance. So you would think there'd be a little bit more of a learning curve for him, you know, of just an in-between period where he's trying to get his rhythm back. As we see, that's a filthy step back by Milan. I'm sorry. We know Sean's the Mississippi Menace, but yikes, he had him dancing on that one. But yeah, AJ really didn't need a whole lot of time to get back into the flow of things. And not only does it make you wonder what he could have done the rest of conference play, but people forget that the Aggies were prepared to actually have him play at some point in the WAC tournament and in the NCAA tournament. At least the NCAA tournament, but hopefully like a game of the WAC. So he was going to make a second return. He was going to, you know, obviously at that point you're completely putting aside the possibility of getting a medical hardship waiver. But yeah, it makes you wonder just what the Aggies could have done in the NCAA tournament had they had AJ back. They still weren't going to have Clayton back. He wasn't in the same timetable as AJ was, but AJ alone really would have pushed the needle for him. Anyways, we got 31-21 ball game, 6:30 on the clock. It's a beautiful pass there by CJ, but Yvonne misses it. She got a bucket down low by Parag. Stephen M. What did I miss? I had to change my youngest son diaper. Nothing so far. Aggie's up by 8. No news or anything like that I'm reporting on today. Just hanging out watching this game. And for those who remember it, it's about to get very interesting these last couple of minutes of this first half. So things are, I'd say you got here right on time, because it's about to get real competitive here. You see Trev trying to get the poster there. Always looking for that poster. Filthy step back. No good though by Boyd. What did they call in here? Foul on the floor. Aggies up by 8 with 5:28 left in the first half. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, whether it's live or not, or you're rewatching this. I appreciate it. Stephen M. NMSU apparently has an offer, or has offered Anderson Marambo, who puts the power in power forward, 6'7", 280 pounds, from the Dominican Republic on the roster at Trinity Community College. Yeah, I was talking about that actually just a couple minutes ago, that him and Davis were the two guys who had gotten offered. And like I was saying, I really won't report on just New Mexico State throwing out offers. But if these guys actually begin to narrow their list and New Mexico State is still on there, then that's when it'll be a little bit bigger on my radar. But yeah, he definitely is a big dude. Big dude who can shoot the three ball too, I believe. I looked at his film just very briefly yesterday after the live stream was over. But yeah, both him and Davis would be for the following season. You see the free throw there by I keep on getting Davis and Boyd confused for some reason, those names, even though they look totally different. One's a guard, the other one's like the tallest guy on the team. I keep getting that confused, but that's Boyd, Brandon Boyd, and then Deshaun Davis is the big man down low. So we got Sean with the ball, top of the arc, or on the left wing, gets it to Trev. Bit of a desperation three there. That's good defense by Cal Baptist. Boyd cutting into the lane. They just got so many guys that can create for themselves, whether it be Milan or Boyd or Flavors. Yeah, I really would have liked to have seen this team in the WAC tournament this past year. See what they could have done. I mean, obviously, I just would have loved to see in the WAC tournament in general this year, but it would have been cool to see. You know, this is the team that got second in the conference standings last year. Would have been just as competitive as anybody else. We got Johnny with the ball, gets to Trev. Gonna step into a three, no good. Cal Baptist going the other way. Can catch fire at any moment. Averaging the most points per game entering this one of all WAC schools. Best 3-point percentage, best free throw percentage, all of that. Good find there to Yvonne down low. Video looked like it was kind of lagging a little bit. It's not buffering or anything. It's this video is downloaded. That's just the way the video is. So I don't know if we're gonna see more of that. We see Johnny's second charge drawn in this game. Just waiting for it. Now Jabari with the ball at mid-court. Ooh, way off there by Jabari, I believe that was. Milan working his way down low, gets it to the big man. They're calling it on the floor first. Morrison is the guy. Aggie's up 5 with 2:25 left in the first half. Like I said, this is our conference opener. Looks like he just got bulldozed there. Yeah, they're talking a bit. Didn't see why there'd be a free throw for that. I apologize if I seem like I'm a little bit confused with what's going on, just because I do have it muted so that you guys can hear me, so I can't hear what the commentators are saying for that. But anyways, we got a 4-point game with 2:20 left until halftime. Nice little crossover by Trev. Can't get it to fall though. Yvonne down low. Yes, sir. Pounding his chest. The Spaniard answering back. Aggie's back up by 6 now. Yeah, reach in there by Jabari. Normally, I'd say you don't mind that if you have a foul to give, you know. You got to be up in the jerseys of guys like Milan, but Cal Baptist in the bonus, not the best move there by Jabari. And this is a great free throw shooter. So first one's good. And we'll get one more after this. Cameron Montano asks, do you think Marcus Watson will get more than 10 minutes a game this upcoming season? So I think Marcus is capable of playing the shooting guard and small forward. So there is going to be a need for some depth at that small forward spot, especially if somebody like Donnie Tillman doesn't get granted immediate eligibility. So I can definitely see Marcus getting into the double-digit minutes just purely out of necessity, you know. Like I said, they don't normally like to bring guys into the system and immediately throw them out there. I feel like they might make the same exception for like what they did with Sean Williams this year, where even though maybe Sean wasn't quite ready to get that big of a load in his first season, they just flat out didn't have a lot of depth at that position, and so they had to put him out there. So I could see the same thing. And then obviously Marcus is extremely talented, former 4-star prospect. So I could definitely see him getting a good amount of PT this upcoming season. Yeah, and as of right now, his earliest return date as of right now would be the spring semester, since you need 2 years of being at your new school, or 2 semesters, I mean. And he did come during last season's campaign. So as of right now, it would be the spring semester, but they are still looking for a waiver for him to make him immediately eligible. Same with Mayan Kerr, so we'll see what happens there. So we got Cal Baptist down by 5. Gets it to Milan in the corner. He's going to have to put it up. There's not much you can do there if you're Sean, you know. You get a hand up in his face, you don't foul. It's a shot with a couple ticks left on the clock. That's just a good scorer right there. Two-point game with under a minute to go in the first half. Sean driving, finds Terrell, 3-ball, no good. Lancer's running with it. Milan putting the moves. So we got a foul call there. Looked like, I believe that's Morrison. Yeah, it looked like even he wasn't ready for that pass there. Glenn Morrison. 1-1, no good. So we got a timeout called here by the Aggies, trying to draw something up for the last possession. Their last possession, because there is still 2.9 left after this. Shout out to NM Aggie Athletic Archive, as always, for providing these videos for us. Also editing out the stoppages in this one. Appreciate y'all. It makes my life a lot easier. Definitely go subscribe to them if you guys haven't. They've got the majority of the games from last season, also some football games. So you got a clean rip there. Going the other way, left wing 3. Believe that's Farron Flavors Jr. banks it in. I remember that one. Yeah, gives the Lancers a 1-point lead entering halftime. All right, let's take a quick look at the stats. Stephen M., will you be covering high school basketball as well? I'll be covering a little bit of high school basketball. The way it works is that my sports editor, Jason Groves, does college football, and then he does high school basketball. I do college basketball and high school football, so we kind of switch between basketball and football. So I'll be covering a little bit of it just during times where he has his hands full. For the most part, in terms of high school, it's going to be football for me that I'm covering. So when I was at WAC Vegas last year, Jason actually went out to Albuquerque to cover the state tournament. So we see they jumped ahead here, missed the first 7 seconds of this second half. Trying to find the first half stats for y'all. Yvonne already with 14 points and 7 boards, and then Milan already with 17 points and 4 assists. Crazy numbers out of those two already. There's one more from Milan. I am texting a high school football coach right now, so I apologize, guys. All right, there we go. Aggies with the ball here, gets it to Johnny in the corner. Oh, almost gets it off the second bounce there. No good, though. Down by 3, Trev in the corner. Changes that. Tie ball game. Corner pocket rocket by Trev. So at this point AJ's already injured, it looks like. Pretty sure he's on the sideline at this point. As we see a nice take there by Flavors in the paint. Yeah, so that was the last that we saw of AJ for this season. And still waiting to see what the ruling is for him, whether he will get that medical hardship waiver. I've been told the Aggies don't really have much of a timeline. They're kind of just waiting at this point. It really is just, it's unfortunate. The NCAA doesn't have the best system when it comes to that kind of stuff. There's not really a set timetable. You pretty much send in your application for it, and then when the NCAA gets around to it, they get around to it. This is the way it is. And it's also not really, what's the term for it? It's not really just a simple matter of following the guidelines. Sometimes they make exceptions, sometimes they don't, So as much as it seems like I'm in the dark about it, the team is in the dark about it as well. It's just how it is right now. But I'm still checking in with the team weekly, just checking for updates, and every time they just say, no updates. So, still waiting to see what happens. Stephen M. asks, I heard that Mesilla Valley Christian School High School in Las Cruces has a football player that is a 4-star. Any merit to that? I have not heard about that. About a 4-star. No, I haven't heard about that. Johnny going to work down low, and one. So we got him going to the line here. Yeah, right now, pretty much our focus, since I am covering high school football almost exclusively on my own, is just with the four 6A, or now three 6A and one 5A schools in town. So with Mayfield, Cruces, Oñate, and Centennial. I didn't cover any games from anything lower than 6A last year. Normally, if there is like a standout player, or if there is a standout team below that, we'll get like a freelance guy in order to go out there and cover that. You know, I would like to go out there and do all this kind of stuff, but we are just a staff of two people, so yeah, stuff like that does tend to slip through the cracks for me, especially when I'm also trying to balance some college basketball coverage with you guys as well. Anyways, we got Trev with the ball here on the wing, gets it to Yvonne, back to him. A little back and forth game there, but it gets broken up. And then a foul called on Trev. A 4-star out of here would be crazy though. That would be something. I know the biggest one from last year, you had Connor O'Toole, who I believe is going to Utah, I believe. And that wasn't in town. That was out in La Cueva. And then you had Philip Blidi, something like that, who was in I believe like a 4 or 5A school. And he ended up going to Texas Tech. So I mean, it's definitely possible that there's somebody out there with a 4-star here, but not someone that I've heard of yet. You got Milan making the free throw. You got one more to give Cal Baptist the lead here. Got it to go. Terrell attacking, turns it over there. Lance is going the other way. We got Fair and Flavors Jr. with the ball here. One of my favorite names to say in the WAC is we got Trev. Man, just his defensive awareness. You saw him with so many steals against Northern New Mexico, and obviously you take it with a grain of salt because it is an NAIA school. But even right there, you just see his timing. He has so many of those this past season where he just waits for it, explodes, gets the steal, and it's an easy fast break layup or dunk or whatever. .1609 left to go in this ball game here, 1-point game. Step back there. That's one of the plays that I showed Terrell for Straight Shooter. Actually, our first episode of Straight Shooter. And he was talking about, if Milan's going to his left and he gets to that free throw line, a lot of times he's going to kind of yank it back and do that little step back shot. It's just a matter of doing your research, watching film for your matchups, and Terrell does that as much as anybody on the team. And so he knew that one was coming, got a clean contest there. The commentators, it was muted on this one, but the commentators there said that that they were expecting a foul call. Is we got, who is that drawing that chart? That's Evan. Yeah, the commentators thought there was a bit of some contact there, and Terrell was saying, "I promise you, it was not." He said it was all clean. But then again, I don't know if he would tell me that that he did foul him. But anyways, Aggie's got the lead back right now. As you can see, the WAC news and notes, Salem State getting the first win over an SEC program since 1994. The win against Mississippi State. And Cal Baptist leading the WAC in scoring margin as well. That's one of those other stats I forgot. Yeah, as high-powered of an offense as there is in the conference. Evan on the wing. Look at the patience down low. Can't get it to fall though, but Trev gets it. Cleans up. This is a big game for Trev. This is, as we see Johnny with the steal. Second steal of the game. Oh my goodness. Yeah, big game for Trev. Not too many opportunities during WAC play where you're going up against other guys with big spotlights on them, you know, guys with pro basketball aspirations, or NBA aspirations, I should say. So this matchup here of Milan is a big one for him. (50-46). Aggie's got the lead with 14:22 left to go. They should edit out this stoppage here. We'll see if they do. Yeah, there we go. So now it's the Evan Gilliard show at the one spot with AJ out. You can see he's still getting worked on right there on the bench, has his leg extended. Looks like it's wrapped up as well. So we see a deep three ball there. I think that was Terrell hitting that. Yeah, just really unfortunate stuff with both Clayton and AJ to get two completely different injuries from what kept them out earlier in the season. You know, Jans had talked about that, where you said, you know, I really haven't experienced this, even not just as a head coach, but during his time just as a coach in general. Hasn't experienced so many injuries, and so many freak injuries at that. You know, Clayton's first injury happened in the weight room with his hand. So just a lot of bad luck for the squad. As you guys know, they came out stronger from it. Still ended up undefeated in WAC play. Were the favorites to win the WAC tournament and make it to the NCAA tournament. From everybody that I talked to that where it wasn't their first year here on New Mexico State, they said this was the most rewarding season that they've had, just because they had to work so hard to get to where they were. Anyways, we got a 55-48 game, 13:20 left. Shout out to everybody watching this with me, whether it's live or rewatching it. I appreciate y'all. If you're enjoying it, please leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Because that really does help this channel grow. Calling that an and one here? What's the call? Looks like it. Yeah, Trevor's inside the restricted area there. Finally found my ring, by the way, for those who have been following that. Finally found it. It just rolled underneath my my bed for some reason. So yeah, finally got that back on. Hadn't had it for the past 2 days, and this is something that I wear all the time. Milan with the ball here. Got the fancy dribble moves. Kual with the ball, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong. Gets it to Davis. And we got a foul called. Splitting the defense, kicking it out to Armstrong. No good though. Good hustle there by Davis. Even the way that the Milan just splits the defense there, just such a tough guy to guard one-on-one in isolation. So crafty with the ball. Little midi by Evan. Pulled it a little too far right there. Lanch is going the other way. That behind the back, he just uses that to size up his defender every single time, it seems like. Super tight handles. I'm interested in seeing what happens with Milan. He did declare for the NBA. I don't foresee him getting drafted in the first 2 rounds, but I could see him getting onto a summer league squad. You know, obviously he could go the overseas route. If you're just a walking bucket, you can go the overseas route and have plenty of success. But you know, he could go to the G League as well, try to work his way up. Obviously, I haven't talked to him since I don't cover the team, so I don't know his if he's opposed to overseas or not. Definitely, if you're as pure of a scorer as Milan, somebody's going to pay you to play basketball, you know, without a doubt. So we see Sean getting the contact and getting to the line. Got it to fall. Second one is up. Yes, sir. 57-51. 11:40 left. A bit of a wild toss there by Armstrong, I believe. Trying to get it to the big man down low. Yeah, this is a game that I would have loved to have gone out to. I was trying to convince the people higher up to let me go to this one. You know, with California not being too far away, but it's just really hard. Unless it's like a rivalry game, I normally don't travel too much. Or a tournament. Yeah, this one I wanted to go to, and then UTRGV I really wanted to go to just because I'm from Edinburgh, Texas, so I could have stayed at my aunt's house, which is less than a mile walk from the campus. You know, I could have just walked to the stadium and go to the game. I had family members at the game, so I would have loved to have gone to those, but I didn't get to travel for any WAC games other than Grand Canyon on the road. That's the only one I made the trip out to in Phoenix. And really the only reason I did that is just because it was driving distance, you know. UTRGV I would have had to get a flight and all this kind of stuff, and it's just It's a lot to ask for. We don't really have the budget for it, unfortunately. We got Terrell with the ball, gets it back down low to Yvonne. Well-timed double team there as soon as he gets the ball. Six-point game. Still not out of reach for the Lancers. This one was close until the final few minutes where New Mexico State really started to pull away. Yeah, you know without a doubt that Yvonne is planning on taking that one because he's about to get called for being in the paint too long. He steps outside and then he steps back in. That's him saying, I need a little bit more time to operate before I try to score here. So at that point, you know he's not passing the ball. He's trying to go to work down low. Just little things like that kind of give it away what he's about to do. So we got a 5-point game. Terrell coming off the screen. That's a good look. But Jabari with the putback. Yet another offensive rebound for him. 4th on the team in offensive rebounds, total offensive rebounds this past season as a guard. And I don't see why he's not going to be up there again this upcoming season, with Yvonne gone. Who I believe Yvonne led the team. Yeah, he led the team in offensive rebounds. And then I want to say it was Johnny and then Trev, I believe. So Jabari's rebounding numbers should go up this year. Definitely a candidate for All-WAC first team once again after making it this past season. So you see Davis there. It's a big dude. A really good rebounder for him. Five-point game, 8:49 left. Aggies barely got that one in on time. Look at that. Johnny with the 3-ball. Yeah, that really opened up his game so much. Him getting that shot back after not really extending his range first couple seasons with the team, as we see Cal Baptist answering right back. Definitely expecting him to be letting it fly from deep again this upcoming season. And shooting efficiently. People forget that. People forget that he had the highest 2-point percentage on the team and then one of the highest 3-point percentages as well. That's Mouse in the house. Doesn't get it to go, but at least gets the board. Yeah, you gotta, as we see Terrell with a 3-point shot. Yeah, if you're Johnny down low, you gotta put that up. Even if you don't get it, there's a good chance you're getting the boards just because of the size advantage you got there. But then smart move to kick it out because then Cal Baptist started to cave in after that. Well, he was looking for his 3rd steal there. Almost got that one. Flavors free throw rattles in. One of their better 3-point shooters on the squad. One of the better 3-point shooters in the WAC too. He was up there in terms of 3-point percentage in the conference as well. And I believe he's at USC now. I might be wrong, but I'm about 90% sure he's at USC now. He definitely transferred, but I'm pretty sure that's where he ended up. So we got a couple guys in the WAC who went on to Power 5 schools. Look at that. That's the play I was talking about that I showed Evan. or just the body control, forcing his guy to give him some space by sort of hitting the brakes there. And another good contest by Terrell, knowing Milan's going to pull up there. But yeah, a couple guys going on to the Power 5. You got Fair and Flavors at USC. You got Seattle's Terrell Brown heading out to Arizona. A lot of bodies on the floor there. Looks like Yvonne got a little shaken up here. As you can see, there's AJ in the background getting his foot wrapped up with some ice. Apologies, guys. Got to get this stuff set up. It's been a long day of just trying to get all this media permission set up because, you know, they're really tight right now on who's allowed to go out to these high school football practices. So right now we're good to get our photographers out there for Monday, but we're trying to get Jason and I out there as well. So that's what I'm working on. So we got Evan going for the charge. Did he get it? Nah, yeah, he didn't get that one. $15 points on 5 for 8 shooting for Fair and Flavors Jr. in this one. Believe, yeah, he was the second leading scorer on the team this season by the end of the year. Milan obviously being the top guy. Yeah, this team would have been dangerous in the WAC tournament without a doubt. I believe my prediction was New Mexico State beating UTRGV in the championship. I believe that's what it was. But I definitely would have gone with Cal Baptist had they been eligible. Good extra pass there by Terrell. No good by CJ. He gets it again. Little floater. The touch. Yeah, that was a great extra pass there by Terrell. Even if it doesn't fall by CJ, that's just good ball movement. You love to see that. Milan's so dangerous when he's coming off the screen there. That was good help defense. That's just a pull-up 3. Oh my goodness, man. Filthy. Filthy. You know what I mean? Like, we know he's got the dribbling, you know? He can create space off the dribble, but sometimes he'll just pull up. He doesn't need a whole lot of space. And then look at Evan answering right back. He doesn't need space either. Back up to double digits. Yes, sir. He's hyped. Yeah, hard to imagine what would have happened if Evan wasn't deemed eligible. You know, with Evan Sean being really the only true point guard the rest of the season, that would have been really tough for the Aggies. Looking forward to seeing what Evan does this upcoming season. Senior year. And I've said it before, to me, he's my favorite person to interview. It's always fun interviewing Evan without a doubt. Not just because he's a character, you know, he's funny for sure, but also, I mean, just when I was breaking down film with them, probably one of the best film sessions that I've had for Straight Shooter as well, just with how in-depth he can get. Which, I mean, is what definitely you want to see out of your point guard. He's the guy facilitating the whole offense, and Yeah, Evan's a class act for sure. Anyways, you got him at the top of the arc here. It's a tough pass to make to Yvonne. Had to thread the needle there. A lot of white jerseys, but he finds the Spaniard. This is where the Aggies are pulling away up 12. 3:45. It's falling apart for the Lancers. Boyd with the layup. Or not Boyd. Yes, Boyd. I told you, I get Boyd and Davis confused. I don't know why I do. I'm going to say Davis? No, it's not Davis, right? I'm terrible. I don't know why I get those names confused. It's Boyd. God damn it, Justin. There we go. Brandon Boyd with the free throws. Still in it. Still in it. They got the full court press going on now, too. 10-point game, I believe. 11-point game. 3:35 on the clock. Appreciate everybody who's watching this with me, whether it's live or rewatching it. Thank you, guys. It's been a good game so far. For sure, for sure. Let's see what the next game is after this one. I feel like it was UMKC? No, Chicago State and then UMKC. Okay. So Chicago State at home will be the game we'll watch tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Aggies versus the Cougars. Johnny wide open. Yikes. Sometimes you can be too open there, you know. Start second guessing yourself. But anyways, the Aggies still up by 11. Yeah, so tomorrow night will be Chicago State. This was definitely good that we didn't have any problems with our live stream. That kind of lets me know that we're good with whack opponents, as we see Yvonne holding his wrist or maybe his groin there. Everybody was banged up. Everybody had a couple injuries this whole season, honestly. But yeah, looks like by watching this game we're good with whack videos, so not expecting to have any more copyright problems the rest of the way. We'll see if this one gets copyrighted, because even if the stream doesn't get suspended, it can get claimed later on, like the day afterwards, something like that. So we'll see what happens, but I don't expect it to. Trev, easy layup. Way too easy. Got lost in the screens there. Farron. Yeah, man, at this point, they're just trying to chuck up some threes and cut into this deficit. A little bit of desperation time for the Lancers. Down 11 with 2:31 left. But I think this final score really doesn't show how close of a game it was. It was a late burst by the Aggies to really push this one, as we see Trev making another three. Cal Baptist played him tight for all but about the last 5 minutes, you know. So we see Evan and Milan. A little bit of action there. Evan with his hands up, not trying to get in any trouble there. He'll get the ball here. 83-69. Just under 2 minutes to go. So once this is over, I will go over quotes. We for sure talked to Jans for this one. I don't remember if we got to talk to a player. I feel like we got to talk to Yvonne after this game. Good contester by Trev on the perimeter. Let's see. Let's pull up this old article here. If I can find it. You guys know I have my problems. This one should be easy to find because this was a big game. So you see the Aggies are starting to drain out the clock. All right, here we go. We got this article. We talked to... Oh, okay. We talked to Terrell Brown and Coach Jans after this one. So you see just one more three for the road. Johnny McCants smiling on his way back. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This score really didn't show how close of a game it was. Cal Baptist definitely came to play early on. But New Mexico State, man, that experience down the stretch really just is a difference maker in a lot of these games because they had a lot of games where they very could have easily lost had they just not finished strong. You know, you look at the UMKC game the first time around. You look at Seattle on the road where they had to come back. Obviously, Utah Valley at home. A lot of situations where that experience, that veteran leadership was a difference maker. 48.7 left, and we got a 15-point game. So I'll go over the quotes, and then I'll also go over the box score per usual. We'll get that done, and then we'll get out of here. "36 seconds left. Aggie's dribbling it out. Cal Baptist will get one more possession. Oh, you didn't have to hit him with the sham god there, Evan. You didn't have to hit the big man with the sham god. Pull up, fair and flavors, no good. That'll do it, folks. Aggies just got to cross half court to avoid the turnover. There it is. 86-71. New Mexico State kicking off WAC play with a victory. Let's take a quick look at the stats for the Lancers. It was Milan Aker with a game high 24 points. 24 points and 8 assists on 6 for 14 shooting, 9 for 10 from the free throw line. And then Fair and Flavors Jr. 17 points on 6 for 11 shooting, 3 for 8 from deep. And the only other double-digit scorer was Brandon Boyd, the other guard, 11 points and 6 turnovers. Yikes. 11 points, 6 turnovers, 2 dimes. The Lancers shot 47.8% from the floor in this game, and then 30.8% from deep. That is 8 for 26, and then 79.2% from the free throw line. For New Mexico State, it was Ivan Audacoechea with the team high 20 points, 8 boards, and 1 assist for good measure. Johnny McCants 17 points, 2 for 6 shooting from deep, and 7 boards as well. Actually 3 offensive rebounds. And then Trevelyan Queen with 16 points, and Terrell Brown with 11 points. So a double-digit outing for him after getting the rest that Northern New Mexico game. And I don't want to say that was his first double-digit game, but it was first or second, something like that. Because he had that rough start to the year with his injury. So this was actually a really great sign from Terrell Brown. And I believe he came out to play against Chicago State and UMKC as well. So speaking of which, we got the Chicago State game tomorrow. Make sure to tune in for that one. Real quick look at the percentages. New Mexico State shot 49.3% from the floor, 32.3% from deep. That's 10 for 31. And then 8 for 9 from the charity stripe, so 88.9%. Let's take a quick look at the quotes. We talked to Coach Jans after the game, or I didn't talk to him, but the SID interviewed him and sent me the audio for it. That's just the way it always works on the road. So this is him on the team on his message to the team at halftime, because they were trailing by 1 at halftime. He says, "We talked about what an opportunity this was for us. A lot of coaches talk about statement games and talk about how you're going to react when it's hard, and this was one for us. I was anxious to see how we were going to respond in the second half when it seems like the chips were against us, and they responded well." Without a doubt, yeah, they responded well in that second half. Also got to hear from Terrell Brown. This is him on his scoring input. He said, "I just try to always bring energy. I feel like if I just go out there and do everything I can on the court, the offensive side will come." And then we also got a quote from him about getting revenge from last season, because this was the only loss the Aggies had to a whack opponent in the 2018-2019 season. So he says, "The loss last year played a big part. Coach Dan was just telling us, like, last year we got whooped here, so this game is not just some regular game. We had this chip on our shoulders, so we just had to go out there and play hard." Guys, that is going to do it for me tonight. Like I said, I appreciate everybody for tuning in and watching this with me, whether it's live or you're rewatching that. It means a lot to me. Please leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notification bells so you guys can get notified every time that we go live, and also every time that we publish some of our other content, guys, because I do have Stray Shooter, new episodes every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. You can check out the most recent one with Will McNair, where we break down game film, answer fan questions, and talk about how much pizza is too much pizza as well. So there's some really funny stuff there. Also, we're going to have a lot more college football content. Jason put out his first one last week about them getting ready for training, all the methods they've been taking, the precautions they've been taking in light of the epidemic. And then we'll have some high school football videos also going up on this site as well. So plenty of reasons to subscribe, guys, and turn on post notification bells. But I think that is going to do it for me. Stephen M says thanks. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you guys. This has been Justin Martinez, a.k.a. J the Sports Dude. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm out.